apparently. Okay, we fixed it. I apologize for that minor disturbance. Oh no, I've accidentally attacked Jerbin alone. I'm not going to do that. That's a bad idea. Let's not do that. Okay, what we're gonna do right now, should be back right now. I'm gonna just mention that it should be back soon. Oh, Zach, I can't hear you. Uh-oh. Can people not hear me now? Can you hear me now? I feel like that cell phone commercial. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Great! Okay, good. People can hear me now, apparently. MMPR Forever just said that at least. So we're gonna go ahead from here. Oh, and then by the way, if you get the book, this is the play-around house that you can actually get as well, which is pretty awesome. Okay, let's travel to the Ruined Woods. / join Ruined Woods. If we go ahead and go here, we can farm up a couple more of the tokens. And I think that would be a fun thing to do, to be able to get more things from the merge shop. I'm going to switch classes, though, back to this one, which is my favorite for attacking a lot of enemies at once. See what tokens we can get things to drop. There's a token. Nice. I need like 20 more of those. I can get one of the pets I want. Boom, boom. More tokens! So many tokens! Oh, the tokens! Delicious, tasty tokens. Or something. Ilana, that was what it was just Ilana, says, I had to return to Cicero. Battle on without me. I'm such a fangirl. I'm sorry. Bye. I had fun. Thank you for coming. No, really. It's awesome. Saberplays says, hey Zach, where are you? We are in the Ruined Woods. If you're listening, you'll hear that. Which is the map from the first week. You can just / go to me, I believe. I think I have go-tos on. More Frask. So the Frask are using the same animation set as rocks, I believe, which is why they turn to stone when they die. Which is a little bit weird, but I guess it was a good way just to make the character and get more monsters in, because they made a ton of monsters for this event. I'm really, really surprised, actually, how many monsters they were able to get into this game. It's really impressive. Yes, another token. Another token! It's going very quickly. So I'm up to 23, which means I can get my next pet at 27. That's cool. Void Warrior. Void Warriors aren't a thing in Za'nar Impossibility, but they're still neat. Yeah, another token. They're dropping really well right now. That's awesome. Maybe we'll change panes in a second and go somewhere else too. Gonna move around the event. Yeah, let's go over here. This is where week 1 Jerbin is. Let's not fight him. He doesn't have anything nearly as interesting as the second week Jerbin. Oh, here we go. 3 monsters spawn on this plane. This is the best place to farm then, probably. So let's try that. Whoa! Beating up a lot of them. Here we go. More Frask. More Jice. Then more Frask. I guess farming's the same in most video games. This one's pretty good, but farming's a thing. Yes, another token. There we go. Night Roar says, Zach, also I'll get more inventory space later on because I'm so close to getting the Blinding Light of Destiny. Cool. Inventory space is very useful to have. Oh, someone was asking about the bank too. I should show off everything I have in my bank. Here, let me, I have a bank pet, so I can open up one of those. Let's see. Zorback bank pet. Here we go. So this is everything I have in my bank. Here's all of my weapons. I kind of have everything in the game, basically, that my bank can store. Oh, wow. I'm actually at 240 out of 250 spaces. That's bad. I'm going to have to start making room at some point. That's actually really bad. I'm running out of inventory room. I wish there was a preview when you were looking at the bank, too. I don't remember what all this stuff is, because some of it's so old. All my helms. I don't usually care about helms. I'll probably get rid of some helms to make room. Capes. Lots and lots and lots of capes. So many capes. Look at all the capes. All my pets. Yeah, I forget about how much stuff I have. Just items. And then no enhancements. So yes, I have a lot of stuff. Like a lot. I'm gonna have to make room at some point, which is a shame. Because I don't want to have to delete things. Let me change how I'm sitting, too. Ooh, we got a treasure chest. Nice. I'd open all the treasure chests, but then I'd be out of inventory room for sure. Maybe I'll have to wait until they can finally expand the inventory room system again. Oh yeah, that's true. And AC items get free storage spots, don't they? That's good. I can probably swap out what I use then, because I do have a lot of AC tag stuff. Should switch back to a more interesting pet now, too. Token! More tokens! Wow. Let's do the fire Kyle. He matches my armor really cool, actually, because it's like the exact same color. Oh, Night Rower says all the gear in the treasure chest is AC tagged. I forgot about that. You're right, though. Okay, so apparently I can open all the treasure chests if I want to. Maybe I'll do that later in the stream. That'd be fun. One more token. I'm at 29, so if I get one more token, I can get a pet. I think I'm going to go with the Jice pet. Here we go. Let's go get it. Awesome. Can actually get it right here. Let's see. Jice! Fantastic. Let's equip this one, see what it looks like. Aw, it's cute. I wonder if it has battle animations or not. I should check that out too. I'm curious. If I switch to a battle pet kind of class. Let's see. What do I have? I don't play a lot of battle classes though. Necromancer. Let's try that. Does it have animations? No, doesn't have animations. So I'm getting some weird hits where I'm not even swinging my sword, but the enemy is still taking damage. MMPR Forever asks, I'm not yakking about my attacks too much, am I? No, you're not at all. It's quite funny. It's completely fine. Do whatever you want. I'm being impressed by some of them. They sound very imaginative with the illusion blasts or whatever you're describing. That's pretty cool. Let's switch back to a different pet for now. Well, I guess I can keep this one out, but different class is what I meant to say. Let's where is it? Trying to find it, and I'm being blind. Here we go. Miltona says, "Hey Zach." Hi Miltona. Glad you could come. I tried to click on the little Jice to attack it and then realized, wait, no, that's mine. Look, it's Klyde. More tokens. Stream's definitely winding down though. I can feel that. I'm getting kind of tired too. I think we're probably going to go about 20 more minutes or so. That puts us at, I think, about 2 hours of streaming. And then we're going to go ahead and call it. But 20 minutes for now. See if we can get another 30 tokens by then. That would be kind of crazy to do. I don't know if that's possible even. What are we at now? 7. So it's possible. It is possible. If we're lucky. Netrower says, "Lol, I heard that, Zach. You were trying to kill your pet." Yes, yes I was. It was a little bit dangerous there. Gonna get in trouble for animal abuse or something like that. Oh, that's a cool little button. I haven't actually noticed that. Huh. Yeah, I think I'm also going to try to ask Alina about a couple of changes because I noticed a couple errors on things. I'm ask her if I can change them out. The characters for their after talks with Jirabin, that some of those got really messed up. I'm going to ask her if we can actually just remove them altogether. And also, Orlick saying that Deether is a planet is a little bit funny. I also think it would be a great idea to get the links for Hero Mart in-game, because a lot of people keep asking about the book, and if you can get the physical book. And I think if we put that in-game, people would love that. I'd love to share it with more of you. It's just, it's such a dream come true to be able to share a story of mine in this way to so many people, and I'm just so glad for that. And thank you, everyone who's watching right now, for wanting to learn more about the world and hear more about it through me and from me. Really, really appreciate about that. Again, I'm just gonna paste in chat here. If you're interested in getting the book, you can get it at heromart.com. That's just been posted in chat. Or you can go to voidsaga.com, which is the official website for the novel, and you can see everywhere you can get it digitally as well. And if you click the big banner at the top, that'll just take you right to Hero Mart as well. Miltona says, "You should read us something from the book." I think because of how I'm streaming right now, that would be awfully difficult to do. That said, if you're interested in reading some of the book, if you just go to Amazon.com or any of the other websites, you can actually read the book, like read the sample of the book right away, which is actually pretty substantial for such a long book as Za'nar. Because Za'nar is at about it's a 104,000 word book approximately. So a sample of that is about 10%, so you actually still get about 10,000 words, which is a lot. So if you want to check out the book, you can actually do that right now for free, just going to Amazon. You can read the sample of it. John AQW asked, "Can you still get the badge if you got the book from ebook?" No. There's no way to create a system where you can sell a book on Amazon and provide a code. I tried to contact people and ask about that, and you're not able to do that, which is something I wish I could do, of course. I was wanting to try to figure out if there were ways to do that. I was trying to look at programming solutions, if there's any way to do it at all. and it doesn't seem like there is, unfortunately. So right now, you can't actually get that right now, which is a shame. So if you want the badges, get the book on HeroMart.com for the $15 for pre-order right now. It'll be shipping very, very, very soon. And then you can get all the cool in-game items as well with your physical, really cool book. Actually, let me think about something. Thinking on that, Miltona, because I'm curious now. I do have somewhere around here a physical copy that I printed up myself, just at Office Max. It's not a pre-physical copy. I wonder if there's something interesting I could read though from it. Because I have this little old school physical copy of the book, and as you can see, it's a quite large book. This was printed at Office Max for like 20 bucks or whatever when I was testing margins and trying to figure all that stuff out for the editing process. I'm not sure what I could read in here that's not too much of a spoiler though. I don't want to read something that's a big spoiler on the stream. Maybe part of the beginning here in the prologue chapter. Let me see. See if we can find like an interesting action-y segment that's not actually a spoiler. Of course, I've been screwing up everything I try to read tonight for whatever reason, tripping over my words a lot. But yes, see, I have the physical book. This isn't what the physical books from Hero Mart look like, of course. They're actual books, and they have the amazing cover art that Dage the Evil did up. Elena says, first page. I guess I can read the first page. That isn't technically a spoiler, but there's nothing interesting that happens necessarily on the first page. Okay. So some of this has been edited as well, so this might not represent the final project, little caveat there. But this is basically what the first page of the book is, so. Again, I can attempt to do this. I've been really tripping up my words. I'll try to slow down a little bit, and we'll see if we can read something, so. It was 3 years ago that Sael and Daz entered the war. Daz, slow down, Sael called to Daz as he ran outside the university and down the cobblestone bridge. She could not believe that a war was starting. A war in Za'nar. That's what they were calling it anyway. Everything had been so peaceful before, but Daz was treating the war like a game. Oh, come on, Sael, if we don't hurry, we'll miss the action, he called back and kept running. Daz was the theatrical type with green hair and a penchant for flair. We can actually find him in game too, can't we? That's hilarious. Here's Sael. Oh, whoops. Here's Sael, who we just read there, and then Daz is back this way. The air was warm and sunny, and Sael had stopped for a moment to savor it, to have the wind drip through her short black hair. Again, tripping over my words, I apologize. Such warmth and safety, such peace. She shook her head as if shaking off a trance, having let herself become too calm in a time of crisis. Daz wanted to go defend Vasid, even if they were still students. Their exams were not finished until next year, but they both wanted to help. Monsters were on the rise and organizing into what people are calling regiments. Capital R regiment, as Za'nar common dictated the capitalization of many terms and nouns. The regiments were led by shades, powerful creatures who wielded dark magics. Sael and Daz knew they had the strength to combat such forces, and that they could make a difference. Fine, wait for me at least, Sael said, with a laugh. She brought her hand down to each foot and ran her fingertips over shoes sewn of, again, I'm tripping on my words, I apologize, and ran fingertips over shoes sewn of black silky cloth and resilient fibers from the marshlands of Darum. Doing so caused blue-white runes on their sides to surge brightly, sending faint lightning crackling over them and along the rubber soles. She started after Daz at incredible speed. When she caught him, the lightning died down, its energy expended. We don't have time to waste. Come on, Daz said. There's a regiment heading for Vasid town. If we hurry, we can be the first ones to intercept it. We can be heroes. Daz, perhaps we should plan this out first. Daz rushed ahead in the air itself, waving his arm dismissively back at his friend. Sael enchanted her steps with lightning once more and chased him through the field. With every step, Daz parted the grass with wind and Sael burned it with lightning. Let's see. Is there a part we can jump to that has some action going on? Trying to see if there's a part we can jump to in the prologue that kind of has some excitement. Because then we go into description of the regiment, which I guess I could read that too. I just don't want to spoil things. Especially if you're planning on getting the book, and I hope you get the book. So. They ran through the field for 2 miles before finding what they were looking for. Marching through the grassy plains, a mere mile from the town, was a regiment, shade and all. The shade, a walking silhouette that seemed human but had no discernible features, led the group. Behind this dark leader followed Jice and 5 Kyalk. So here's Jice. We have them in game right here. That's actually kind of neat. Oh. The Kyalk were short, gangly humanoids that stood no taller than 2 feet. They had gnarled limbs, which still possessed the dexterity for basic sorcery. Bodies that looked like old, wet wood, and faces with large black eyes and twisted noses. The Jice was something different entirely. A product of void energy gone astray. Indeed, nothing more than void energy itself. It would be invisible and unnoticed were it not the habit of such living energy to seek out physical form. This one had thrown together a long, snake-like body with a collection of rocks and gravel that slinked along the ground in a single conformed mass. The regiment progressed slowly, taking its time to reach town. A cluster of boulders lay in the grass less than 10 yards from the regiment. Sael and Daz hid behind them. And then we have them begin the attack. But again, I don't necessarily want to spoil everything. If you want to know more about the book, you can check it out from those links that I pasted again. I can post them again too. I'm trying to see though if there is a good just action-y sequence here that I can read off. Yeah, there's nothing I can really read off that isn't a huge spoiler besides the prologue. But if you're interested in reading more, you can, as I said, check it out all for free at Amazon.com or from any of the other ebook stores. They have samples completely for free. So if you want to read more for yourself, you can definitely do that. Nightroar says, I'm going to take my leave. See you, Zach. Thank you for coming, Nightroar. It's been really fun fighting alongside you. I've enjoyed that. And thank you for coming. I hope you come to the next one. I know you've been here to a lot of them, and I really, really appreciate it quite a bit that you showed up to so many things, so thank you for that. And we are winding down here. I think I'm going to go for another 10 minutes or so. Let's see if we can fight something interesting. And again, I apologize for my poor speaking voice when I was reading the book. I've been having a little bit of trouble speaking today because I've had a little bit of a sore throat, but I'm doing fine. I'm still trying to be super energetic and excited about everything. Yeah! But it does kill your throat. Miltona says, thanks for the read, Zach. Good night. Thank you, Miltona, and I hope you check out the book. I butchered a little bit of the language there, so it's a little bit better if you're reading it for yourself. Let's see. More Frask. Kill all the Frask and the Jice and everything. How many are we up to? We're up to 25 tokens. We can definitely get at least to 30 tokens to get the last of the pets I really wanted, which is the Ice Kyalk. Saber Plays says, hey bro. Hey Saber Plays. What's up? Elena says, I enjoyed the read. It's great, lol. Fight the tired. Should I read more? I can read into the next scene where we actually have action started. I suppose I did kind of stop at action. Let's see. Fine, fine. We'll read at least to, like, something happening. You're right. So, when I stopped reading, it was a cluster of boulders lay in the grass less than 10 yards from the regiment. Sael and Daz hid behind them. Oh, and hi, Seppi. Yes, I would love to Skype with you again sometime soon. That would be really fun. Sael looked to Daz, and Daz looked at Sael. Their combat experience was extensive. Years of sparring at the university, hunting, a handful of adventures, and occasional guard work from a young age on their birth planet Ix. But this was something new, something exciting. This felt different. This was war. Their fighting could save the lives of helpless citizens of Vasset. Their fighting could make them heroes, real heroes. This wasn't just putting down a rogue monster on Ix or helping someone find a treasure. Their past exploits felt meaningless. Now their fighting could help save the entire planetary system of Za'nar. Stay silent. Speak with thoughts, Sael told Daz telepathically. I needed to work out a diversion, some sort of illusion spell to break up the ranks. What sort? Daz responded. And again, this is Dazzard over here in game, which is so neat. What sort? Daz responded. I plan to use the distraction granted by it to take out the Kyle before they can act. Get creative. Do I need to use an illusion spell? Daz asked with a grin. I need a diversion. Anything, huh? Got it. Showtime. Daz, still behind the cover of the rocks, began to sketch a blue-white rune on the back of the largest stone. The boulder was twice Saul's height, and he knew he could make it into a grand diversion. The black rocks began to rattle and glow yellow, or the black rocks began to rattle and glow yellow, then green. Saul stepped back at Daz's urging, right as the largest boulder began to roll directly towards the nearby regiment. It crushed the 5 tiny Kyle, forcing muffled whines from each of them as they died. I take your request for a distraction and give you an attack, Daz exclaimed. What are you thinking? Saul said. I'm thinking I just outdid anything and everything you're capable of. I took out half the regiment. Now all that's left is the Shade and the Jice. Yes, the Jice. The Jice which you just threw a rock at. What's the big deal? It's just a rock. Clearly you're just jealous of how amazing and quick-witted I am. I bet you wish you'd thought of that. Jice are beings of animated void energy that cling to nearby objects, incorporating them into themselves as part of their bodies. As Saul spoke, the Shade approached and the thrown boulder began to rise off the ground. Children, the Shade said. Mere children dare to challenge me. I've never seen such resistance. The boulder moved again. The Jice had picked it up and incorporated it into its makeshift snake body. And I just died trying to attack. Oh noes. Well, as long as I'm dead for a sec, we're going to stop for 2 seconds. I'm going to look at chat. MVP Thunder, Zach, who is your favorite person so far on Koten? I really like Ori and I really like Todd so far. The internet derped, and I have no idea if you saw that. I did see that, Sepulcher, thank you. And then Saber says, Zach, can I be the villain in the next book? I'll have ice, please. I don't know. I mean, I hope there is a next book, and if you guys get it, there will be. So please check it out. Again, if you're interested in getting the novel, it is available right here. From those links, you can get it at Hero Mart or all over the interwebs. Anyway, back to what we were reading. Let's get back through this action scene. I think it would be fun to do. The boulder moved again. The Jice had picked it up and incorporated it into its makeshift snake body. There was a low rumble and the clacking of stones colliding as it slunk through the grass with the massive black boulder at its front, the smaller stones and dirt trailing behind. So this is kind of, again, we have a Jice right here. So if you imagine that kind of a creature with rock compacted together and, you know, going through, and it's just huge, right? Daz rubbed the back of his neck. Sorry, Saul, my bad. It is fine, we can handle this. You take the Shade, I will take the Jice. The Shade cackled at the 2 young students. Not only do you wish to challenge me, but wish to fight alone, I will prove to you your arrogance. The Shade laughed again, whipping a shadowy arm through the air and sending Daz flying. He landed 20 feet away from Saul, collapsing in a heap on the ground. The Shade chased after its prey, pulling back its arm and projecting a tendril of darkness that it set Daz and struck him hard, smothering him underneath the murky slop of a limb. Daz! Saul cried as she ran to aid him. The rocky Jice moved swiftly, blocking her path and cutting off her line of sight to her friend. The Jice started to roll towards her. The rocket lead was heavy, dangerous, and moving quickly. She had to flee. She put her hand to her shoes again, and they surged with lightning, giving her the speed to outrun the Jice. The chase was on. Pursued by the Jice, she ran as swiftly as her body could take her through the field, but running could never be enough. The creature was void alone. She was flesh and blood. If this continued, her corporeal form would tire, and the animate boulder would crush her. The Shade's tendril pressed hard against Daz, pushing him into the wet grass and mud. He was alive, but just barely, and knew he needed to think of something fast. He shut his eyes. The light had always come to him easily, even as a wizard. His mentors had told him that was normal, that some crafts were intuitive to some wizards, while others had to be learned. Yet his control of the light was extensive. He could use it to fight, shield, and heal, all since a young age. Now he was on the ground bleeding while the Shade tried to press the life out of him, and he needed all 3 of his talents at once. He cleared his mind and started with the shielding. He wove light around his beaten body like a golden blanket, making the Shade's tendril recoil in pain. Then the light blazed dazzling. I can't speak for a sec. One sec. The Shade's tendril recoiled in pain pain. Then the light blazed dazzlingly and sank into Daz's flesh. Cuts closed, bruises mended, scrapes healed. He sprang up to his feet as the shade stared, dumbfounded. How? How do you live? How did you burn me? The shade hissed, as if he had never seen a healing spell before. It was the young caster that took him by surprise. I'm Daz Acer, Daz smiled. I won't lose to the likes of you. There, now we got some actual action going on. And Flemel in chat just says, Zat, yes, I finally caught you streaming. I'm so sorry, Flemel, because we were planning to close off the stream soon. But, you know, I think, if I look at what's left here, there's about 2 pages left of the prologue for Za'nar Impossibility, so maybe I'll go ahead and I'll just, I'll read it out. Oh, you know it, well, it's with an E instead of an A. Flemel. Okay, Flemel, not Flemal. Okay. Saber says, and do what the author with the Hunger Games, just dish out the most books as possible and hope it becomes a smash hit. I mean, I'm planning on writing a million more books. I really hope you guys buy this one. It's something I'm really excited about. I'll go ahead and post this things in the description right here one more time. If you want to get the book, again, there's bonus items if you get it from Hero Mart for Adventure Quest World's players. So I would love to, you know, share it with all of you, and I hope you check out the book. Za'nar Impossibility. All right, let's go ahead actually, and we'll finish the prologue because I think that's fun. You know, that was actually a really, really good idea, Miltona. That was a great idea. I know you've left the stream now, but thank you. This has been fun. So let's go ahead and try to read through the rest of this. So Daz has just fought off the shade and forced it back. Meanwhile, Sael is currently running through the field, attempting to outrun a Jice, which is effectively, you know, taking boulders into its body and is just rolling after her, trying to crush her. So, I'm Daz Acer, Daz smiled. I won't lose to the likes of you. Sael, and then, you know, cut. Sorry. Next scene. Sael reached a hand into the pocket of her tunic and withdrew a scrap of parchment. Still running headlong, she took her finger to paper and drew the first rune that came to mind, a rune of explosive force. She knew breaking the rock would result in the Jice reforming with the rubble, but perhaps she could strike it while it did so. At the least, her spell would make the Jice a more manageable size. The lines on the parchment lit blue-white, and she turned abruptly, facing the rock. She held the parchment flat against the palm of her hand and waited for her foe to collide. When the Jice rolled into her hand, the boulder shattered like fragile clay pottery into nothing more than a pile of rubble. The stones trailing behind the cracked boulder fell to the ground. Sael began to draw a blue-white circular rune into the air as the rock shook and vibrated, winding upwards into a vortex of stone and mud. This rune was larger than a piece of parchment gave room for. The air was a boundless canvas. Her chance to stop the creature was now, while it was reforming. She finished the rune, a creation of intricate spirals and double backs, and disrupted the magic with her hand. The rock spinning slowed, mud running off the flying stones. There was a moment of stagnation, and then the debris fell back to the earth. Upon hitting the ground, white sparks rose from the rubble, the void energy of the Jice releasing into the air. The rock suffered no harm. She had drawn a rune of dismissal, designed for exorcising weakened creatures of void energy. Oh, and Saber says, I got to go. I'm going to watch SmackDown. Well, thank you for coming, Saber. It's been fun talking to you. Anyway, Sael scanned the horizon, looking for the shade. Oh, no, we lost connection. Are we still in? Yeah, we're still in. Whoops. Well, while we're loading, I'll keep reading the book, I suppose. But let's get back into the event. Sael scanned the horizon, looking for the shade, and spotted it far away. From where Daz was lying on the grass, she saw a burst of light, and watched as he stood back up. Sorry. I have to get back into reading now. From where Daz was lying on the grass, she saw a burst of light and watched as he stood back up. She had run a long distance and would need to make haste if she wanted to help. She brought her hands back down to the runes on her shoes to speed her step, but nothing happened. No! Stupid merchant! He told me these would last longer than this. Sael kicked the shoes off her feet, as if to spite the seller for giving her worn goods. He'd been an old employee of her father's, too. She'd have to mention this to him. A thought came to her, and she picked one shoe back up and examined its sides closely. The rune was simple. Surely using an enchanted item would be easier, but she could manage this sort of spell. Her capacity was 28, but she was wise with her magics. She slipped the shoes back on and sketched the rune into the air. Lightning crackled around her feet again, not from the enchantment on her shoes, but from her own use of magic. She grinned widely and ran with lightning speed to rejoin her friend. Oh, did I go back to the wrong server? Ah! On the wrong server. We're going back to Zoom again, because I autopiloted that one. And you're welcome, MMPR forever. Anyway, so now we're back. Saul, she grinned widely and ran with lightning speed to rejoin her friend. Oops. Ah! I opened up Amazon. Wrong link. I am messing things up right now. I apologize for that. Okay. I do not care who you are. You are a child. How do you defy me? Shouted the Shade. I just told you. I'm Daz Acer. I don't lose fights to weaklings. Daz cast his arm in front of himself and launched from it a wide, arced ray of light, thin like a shining white blade, wide as the swing of a halberd, and as radiant as the sun. The wave rippled across the air, cutting the creature as it passed through its form. The Shade screamed in pain and writhed as it vanished into black smoke. Saul had, much to her disappointment, arrived just in time to watch the Shade fade away. Daz, you fool, she shouted. But I killed the Shade, Daz stammered. We saved the town. We did not save anything. The local troops would have stepped in. But they weren't here and we were. We should stay here until they do arrive and tell them the situation's dealt with. Daz sighed. That could take ages at this rate. They're sure taking their sweet time with this one. A dragon flew down from the sky and landed next to Saul and Daz. The creature had black scales and red eyes, a form to inspire fear, but Saul and Daz knew it meant them no harm, for they recognized the dragon as Quinn Aegis, Saul's father. His form shifted back into human shape. He looked to be in his 30s, but was older. He'd always been the sort to utilize magic for vanity's sake. He stood a few inches under 6 feet tall and weighed not a pound over 150, with eyes of a bright turquoise green that matched his daughter's. Saul, Daz, I've been looking for you. My scrying spell showed you in combat. What happened? Why were you looking for us, father? Saul said in a forced tone of respect. I was looking for you because this planet has been under heavy attack. This planet has been under heavy attack and is not safe for either of you. We are starting resistance on Ix. I have gathered people from the planets across the system, and we're discussing how to deal with the threat we have encountered over the past 2 months. I want you to come back with me. But we can fight, Daz exclaimed. We just took out an entire regiment. You expect me to allow children to fight in a war? Quinn scoffed. Preposterous. We're going to fight, father, whether you desire us to or not, Saul declared. We want to protect Za'nar. Quinn smiled at his daughter. She was as stubborn as he was. And who am I to deny you your wish? Come, we have an accord to reach at the capital. And that is the prologue, which then from there we jump 2 years forward into the future, where Saul has just been assigned on a mission to the planet of Earth, and she meets Klyde Vance. And from there, Klyde Vance gets pulled into a huge, crazy magical conflict spanning 3 million years. And that's the story, with lots more awesome magic and exciting scenes. That was a good idea, though. That was fun to read. You can actually read more of the book as well for free from a sample if you just go to Amazon. Actually, right here. Check this out. I just realized I accidentally opened up Amazon. I might as well show you. So if you go here and if you just go look inside, if you just go to the webpage, you can look right now inside the book immediately. If you want to read more of the book, you can do that right away. This is all the stuff we read. Here's stuff on Chapter 1. It's not doing it in the proper pagination right now, but if you get the ebook, it is properly paged. But yeah, you can read up to about chapter 3. You can read through most of Chapter 3. There's about, I think it's 26 chapters. So yeah, you can read all that if you want to read more of it, which is pretty cool. I can actually throw the links one more time in here if you want to get the book. And that was a great idea. Thank you for suggesting that I do a reading. That was really fun, actually. Like I said, genius, says MMPR forever. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I really hope you read the book. It means a lot to me. This is a story that is just, this is a passion story. This is a story I wanted to write because I want to share it with people. Sometimes, authors write books because they want to, sell books and they want to make money. This was a book that is something that's just like really, really important to me, and it's a world that I believe in very, very much. So it's so exciting to get to share it, and that was a really fun idea. LNS Ilana says it was still really cool for you to read personally. Thank you. You rock. Well, thank you so much. I really, really hope you go ahead and get the book, too. I mean, if you were enjoying hearing that, if you'd like to read it without me stuttering through it, because I know I didn't do that perfectly, you can do that as well, and I hope you check out the book. And again, if you're an Adventure Quest Worlds player and you get the book from Hero Mart, it comes with all sorts of really neat items in-game. So you can get that as well. I wonder how many tokens we're actually up to now. And that was really fun. Thank you so much for enjoying it. I'm glad that you enjoyed hearing me read, even though I was screwing up my words every now and then. I have an easier time of just talking sometimes than I do of actually reading something. I tend to like stutter more often. So let's see here. I think we can get the ice Kyelk. So here are some of the Kyelks that we talked about and we were just reading about in the you know, in the novel. I described, you know, the boulder rolling over and crushing them. You can get one of these little guys. Now we have all three of the elemental Kyelks. In the novel, they're not described as elemental, but they are capable of elemental spells. So they can use energies of fire, ice, and lightning, even though they're only 2 feet tall, which is amusing. Basically, they're fantasy imps, but like on steroids and even cooler. Let's equip this one. Blade, who did the art for the Kyelks, completely outdid himself, I feel like, in this one. What's so interesting, too, is once you take the art and you shrink it down, it ends up with like a super high resolution. So they're actually some of the most detailed character arts, I think, like, ever in Adventure Quest Worlds, which is really, really cool. Because he drew them as really big, and then he shrunk them down, so they got, like, super detailed. It's awesome. I Hate Cream in chat says, I actually just completed the event today. And hello, Zach. Hello, I Hate Cream. Think you're going to check out the book? I thought the end of the event was really cool. I just completed the event today myself because I hadn't actually seen it yet. And I did this stream to get to play it, you know, get my reactions live because it was so cool. That end cinematic is like the coolest thing I've ever seen. It was exactly what I wanted it to be. I wrote the whole thing and I was worried if she was going to cut some of it. But no, it looked so cool. I'm thrilled to get to share that. Yeah, that was just, like, completely awesome. This whole event has been so cool. Oops! Trying to get a friend request, but I'm out of friend space. I have to do the thing where I look at my friend list and I try to remember who hasn't logged on in years, and then I do the caveat in my stream where I say, what I'm saying right now is, if I delete you and you wanted to be on my friend list, please message me again, because I probably deleted someone who has been on recently, and I apologize for that if I accidentally do that. I'm trying to delete people who I don't think have actually been online that I can't remember seeing online in ages. But if I deleted you and you want to be on my friend list, please just message me again and I'll add you. But I do know Sepulcher, so I'll try to add him here. I Hate Cream says, he is hard though, 1 million health. Yeah, Durbin had a lot of health for this event. It's a pretty epic fight, but he's a super powerful monster. I mean, you realize in the event, even after you fight him, you fought him twice now, and the guy still lives and is strong enough to be able to go back to the Void Plane and just hang out there now. He's not even dead when you're done fighting him. He's that freaking strong. It's awesome. Yeah, that's right, because I thought I had you on my friend list already, Sepulcher, so I guess that's what happened. Uh-oh. We crashed again, didn't we? No, we have crashed again! It's almost as if the universe is telling me to stop streaming or something. What happened here? It says that my graphics driver... Oh! I think I figured out what's causing the crashes. So while I won't be able to fix it for this stream, I will be able to fix it for future streams. I am going to have to reboot the stream, which is going to take a couple minutes, and I apologize for that. But future streams, if you follow my channel and stick around, I'll be able to have a solution. It won't ever happen again in theory.